Those Were the Days is an all-time classic that certainly has stood the test of time, with a history of success that spans over half a century. Not only is it a beautiful song we love and cherish, but it has been used on several occasions ranging from advertisements to the Republic of Ireland's football chant, "Come on you boys in green." However, this classic has also taken part in a much darker historical episode, which is what we are diving into in this video. First though, to not disrespect this gem, let's take a quick look at the origin of the song. Originally composed in Russia in 1925, the song gained worldwide popularity when it was translated and adapted by American songwriter Gene Raskin in 1962. The original Russian title translates to "By the Long Road," but other than a title change, both songs have much in common. They're both love stories with a reminiscing vibe, as it tells the story of a couple looking back to their younger days. However, it wasn't until 1968 that the song really took off. The Raskins were international performers who attracted famous people to their shows. The group often played in London, and one of their frequent guests was none other than the legendary Paul McCartney. Paul admitted that he was quite taken by the song and attempted to have several singers record it, without succeeding at the time. It wasn't until the Beatles formed Apple Records that McCartney managed to record the song, and this is of course the beautiful version we all love with Mary Hopkin on vocals. Not surprisingly, the song had huge success, and Paul McCartney yet again manifests his musical genius. It went on to be recorded in 20 languages by several artists. Hopkins' recording made first place on the UK singles chart and second place in the US, just beaten by another Apple Records release, Hey Jude. Not an easy competition. As the song was riding on its wave of success, it got used more and more in popular culture, which wasn't necessarily a bad thing. That is, until Christmas Eve in 1969. Let's just say this episode is an exception from the saying, "all PR is good PR." To explain the situation in question, we need a short history lesson from Central Africa. Wait, what? That's right, the horrible incident that ties to the song took place in Equatorial Guinea. The country had been colonized by Spain for a long time, until it gained its independence on October 12, 1968. The country then elected their first president, Francisco Macias Nguema. However, his leadership wasn't what the country needed, to put it mildly. After his induction as president, Macias led the country under strict dictatorship. Through severe human rights abuses as well as economic mismanagement, people were forced to flee the country. Macias's rule also led to a significant brain drain, as he specifically targeted intellectuals and educated classes. According to different sources, anywhere from 50 to 80,000 people out of a total population of between 300 and 400,000 were killed. The dictator performed several public executions, with one especially standing out due to its bizarre nature. This incident took place during Christmas Eve in 1969. After some sort of public trial, 186 people were sentenced to death, as they were seen as suspected dissidents. The prisoners were led to a football stadium where they got scattered around the pitch. Then, when the executions were going on, amplifiers started playing, yes, you guessed it, Mary Hopkins' "Those Were the Days." 150 were hanged or shot, while the remaining were buried up to their necks and eaten alive by ants, while Mary Hopkins sang, "We'd live the life we choose, we'd fight and never lose." A more horrible execution is difficult to imagine. In fact, medical reports from Macias's early career suggested that he was mentally unstable, which really doesn't come as a surprise after hearing about the situation just described. To add to the bizarreness, it is widely believed that the executioners were dressed as Santa Claus. However, it doesn't seem to be a good source confirming this. Macias's rule continued until 1979, where he was deposed and later executed by his nephew Teodoro Obiang after a long and bloody civil war. Well, there you have it, an unbelievable, horrible, bizarre situation that in some way cursed the beautiful song produced by the legend Paul McCartney and sang by the sweet voice of Mary Hopkin. I hope it didn't ruin the song too much. If you found this story interesting, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any other wild stories from the world of music. Keep loving, see you in the next one.